Today we are going to be recapping and reacting to everything that the MMA community has been talking about the past little bit. If you have not seen it, it's going to be clips like this, and somebody just getting schooled by Israel Adesanya defending Jon Jones.
Hey, Izzy, can you say fuck Jon Jones?
And I believe this was at the UFC fight week. Look at Adesanya, the great guy, eh? We're not doing that. And I've seen this video, guys. I don't know about you guys, but Izzy goes into ultimate lecture mode after this.
That's rude. Why would I say fuck Jon Jones?
As if Israel Adesanya hasn't, you know, pointed at a little kid after knocking out his father, falling on the ground, or, you know, touching dogs.
Even though he's going through some stuff, I don't like to kick a man when he's down. Because he's going through a hard time right now.
He actually said, I don't like to kick a man when he's down, and he's going through a hard time right now. Oh, yeah. Let's feel bad for the guy who beats his wife.
You gotta understand, as a fighter, it's really hard to be in this shit. So you can't just be rude like that. Fuck Jon Jones.
My God, man. It's legitimately just insane, man.
So he beat his wife because of that?
No. We all do dumb shit, and we can't, like, no one's perfect.
There's one thing to do dumb crap, as he says, and there's another thing to, like, you know, beat your wife.
Piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. I'm a piece of shit. No one's perfect. So you can't just kick a man when he's down.
You know, there's some okay words there, like, you know, everybody's perfect, you know, we're all flawed as individuals, but there's one thing to be flawed and have something wrong with you, and then there's, like, the level of Jon Jones.
Understand? Yeah. People respectful. I know it's like, he's a dickhead. Look, he's a dickhead, but you gotta be more respectful because we're human beings as well. He's a piece of shit.
I don't know. I you know, Izzy could just be looking for a clip as usual. You never know with this guy.
Okay.
Use your brain. All right, Adesanya. All right. Is he defending a wife beater? What a great guy he is. Yes, sir. Good job, Israel Adesanya. Jones is a complete scumbag, full stop. But these weirdo parasocials running up with their cameras, putting fighters on the spot is one of the most lame things I've seen. To be honest with you, I kind of agree with that. I don't know, man. I know it's like normalized and the fighters are probably used to it, but I think it's so weird to like walk up to somebody and be like, hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on? What do you think about this? You know, without like, you should ask permission for that type of stuff. And I know if I met somebody like that, well, I feel bad like saying this all the time because it sounds cringe, but I'm not fans of people, so I don't like walk up there like, oh my God, please take a picture with me. You know, it's just, it's another man. That's how I feel about it. I respect people, but at the same time, like, I think it's a little bit strange, and especially like running up to the camera like that. You know what I mean? People watch this video and somehow come to the conclusion Izzy is defending or beating up wives. MMA fans are clueless. It physically hurts. I kind of agree with the reply over here. He's kind of just giving a pass. I understand what Kenny was saying over here, but at the same time, Israel Adesanya is just like, no big deal. Yeah, he beat his wife. We're all flawed individuals. People have a lot of balls around these trained killers. Yep. And it's the society we live in right now, man. It's a society we live in. Nobody's allowed to touch each other anymore. MMA Guru quote tweeted this and said, Adesanya saying we all do dumb shit when someone asks what he thinks about Jon Jones beating up his wife is insane. I've been saying this forever. People always justify behavior they have done or see themselves doing. He's going through a hard time. Nobody is perfect. You know, as usual with some of this stuff, this guy is completely correct. Let's continue on to another topic over here. The mutual respect between Rob and Dricus is so cool. And I've seen this, guys. I don't know about you guys. And if you're new to the channel over here, we've had a bunch of things picked out for us and that we think would make for a good video. And then I like put a couple things that I've seen myself organically within these two, okay? Dricus said, 2 years ago today, I had the privilege to fight a hero of mine. This fight had so much more on the line than a ranking. This was the day I proved myself and the world that I have what it takes to be the best in the world. Thank you for all the support over the years, and thank you for the doubters too, since you also play your part in making these victories so much sweeter. But most of all, thank you to my Savior Jesus Christ for being with me every step of the way. For you are with me, so who can be against me? Amen. Robert Whittaker, thank you for the kind words, champ, and then Dricus is showing respect as well. Always, brother, nothing but the utmost respect for you. I do love to see that, and both of these fighters are two fighters, and like, see, like, of course it's easy to say behind the camera, but they are seemingly really, really, really great guys, and I like to see the respect between them too. I respect DDP because he recognizes Whittaker. Not many people do those days, and it's amazing to see. That's actually true, actually. I never really thought about that. Yeah, people kind of like write Whittaker off now. Your dad beat you. We're not going to be reading that. Oh my God. Robert Whittaker, hi. That's actually pretty funny, okay? Let's continue on over to Dovey. DC eating good. Dude, Cormier has had so many people. Oh, man. He's had so many people just screenshotting about how fat he is, but And I, at YouTube, am very grateful to be on this platform and would never in a million years suggest such a thing. But some would say that shaming works. And I actually have heard a bunch of things that a bunch of people talking about DC actually going on a diet. I don't know how true that is, but Fight Talk said he's absorbing every fighter that loses on his team. Ooh, disgusting. Disgusting. He ain't even eating anymore. He's straight swallowing at this point. Man, that's not a good picture. Oh. This is one of those pictures that'll come out and be like, try telling somebody that this is one of the baddest men on the planet. Crazy, eh? MMA On Point had this to say. Remember how you felt after Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje? That's the same feeling Robbie Lawler versus Rory McDonald gave. Had me speechless for hours. You just had to be there. Now, we're not going to play this video because UFC is hungry for copyright, but not only that, it was one of the greatest UFC nights in history on one of the greatest cards in UFC history. I'm almost sure it was UFC 189. Man, what a night. I remember it like it was yesterday, man. I remember what I was doing. I remember everybody's reaction to it. I still think for a knockout, Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje takes the cake because of like the event that it was at being like 1 second left, you know, and Max Holloway winning the fight, throwing it all on the line for the BMF. But this was right up there, man. It was right up there. One of the greatest moments in the UFC, the way they just did not want to go back to their corners. It was so, like, I don't know what else to say besides it was badass. Like, I feel like that's a little bit cringe to say now, the word badass, but it gets the point across, you know? If you watch it live, you knew it was history being written. Dude, I knew it was history being written watching it downstairs. It was different. Robbie versus Rory felt like a hardcore blood sport. I mean, you can literally see the blood everywhere, but they both had animosity that you don't really see in MMA fighters these days. Actually, that's a really good point. Nowadays, and obviously everybody gets into fights, everybody gets into wars, right? But this really was like a hardcore blood sport, as JC said. I think that was a really good way to describe it, to be honest with you. Let's continue on to another thing that I've seen over here. Dovey posted this. Mackenzie Dern lost 70K Instagram followers when she announced her pregnancy. I lost like 70,000 followers at the time when I announced my pregnancy, and I'm guessing that this is the picture where she announced it. That's crazy. Oh boy. I didn't want to be a stepdad, this guy says. Oh, come on, man. Make that 70,001. All right. Real ones didn't unfollow because those milkers are about to go, guys. Oh, Andrew Golden playing the long game over here. 70,000 losers who believe they actually had a shot with her. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you are never, ever, ever, ever getting with your celebrity crush ever, so stop being incredible losers and go get a girlfriend. Unfortunately, I'm with that, guys. I'm not gonna lecture you on the whole idea of like all of these Instagram girls do to you. We do have another channel for that, and we talk about self-improvement over on Clenday. If you guys are interested, link in the description down below. We have some videos on that. We're actually working on a video and a massive, as big as we can possibly get, a deep dive into why adult content is so harmful for you. So I don't understand, man. I know that people like to look at girls, but at the same time, you shouldn't be following them on Instagram like that, okay? This is something that I included myself, okay? And it sucks here, okay? Because Michael Chandler posted this, and it's a nice video. And I don't recall if we've actually looked at this on the channel before, but there's something a little specific that people were catching on, okay? Michael Chandler posted, how we respond says everything. Walk on. See you at the top. And it's a video with him and his son after a loss.
Captured. I didn't even know it was being shot after my last fight. My son, Hap, and I, we did a Nutella's cheers after.
Now, did you catch what happened there? He said he didn't even know it was being shot. That's what a lot of people ended up clinging on to, myself included.
And I'm bleeding out of my left cheek. I'm bleeding off my right eyebrow. I just got beat up. And me and my son are sharing this moment. And we lock eyes and I say, buddy, you're going to take your lumps. You're going to take your bruises. You're going to get knocked down to your knees. You're going to want to stay there. But how we respond says everything.
And again, I've said this so many times on the channel. The things that are coming out of Michael Chandler's mouth are correct. It makes sense, right? This is a good lesson to teach your son. But he does the things like, oh, well, I didn't even know it was being recorded. You know what? It's possible. But come on, like, look at how this was set up. As if, oh, you just didn't see the camera. Come on.
Realize that my story isn't going to be about the gold belts, and it isn't going to be about all the money and the bright lights and all the material things. But it's going
and a lot of people have also been dogging him on for that. I don't think there's anything wrong with what he said there. He came to a realization. There's nothing wrong with that. He has a new mission in life.
Be about the heart and the soul and the perseverance of the man that I am. My story now, it can speak to so many people that I never thought it was going to. See you at the top.
I thought, like, honestly, I think Michael Chandler gets way too much hate. I don't see anything wrong with that video, but people were actually clinging on to like, you didn't really know it was being recorded. Like one of the top replies over here, I did not know it was being recorded. He just has to sneak those little things in sometimes. It's just like, it just kind of discredits the whole thing, and everybody kind of clutches onto that. You know what I mean? Definitely nobody in the game with a better mentality to handling the pressures of the sport. Always a class act. A lot of respect for the way you carry yourself out here, bro. Yep. I love that, man. I love that. I wish that the only thing about Michael Chandler is he has so much potential, and I wish that he would have chosen a lot more moments to use his fight IQ, but that's really the only thing that we can say about him. Other than that, I respect everything that he does, man. Show Me the Money podcast posted this. Why didn't Charles Oliveira just do this to Ilia to Poirier, I'm guessing?
How do you think you would beat Ilia Abturo, top Toro? Or grab him by the scruff of the chest and slap that little nose off him, yeah?
That's a good point. Why didn't Charles Oliveira just do that? How could you possibly leave out, you ding-dong of a ting, yeah? Wait, so this is where Abturo and Top Toro came from? Yep. I love how Top Toro just became a thing. Ilia Top Toro. Let's continue on. Man, I've seen everything today. I didn't include this in the video. We get these things chosen out for us, but I have already seen this. Paul Felder suggests 3 UFC names for 8. You know, we have to be careful with this on YouTube. I like to say Voldemort because you're not allowed to say his word. Like, there used to be flags on that, and I don't know if they're ever going to reinstate that, okay? To spar with after watching him, to take on 60 unknown men. Let's take a look at this. And if you guys have ever seen Voldemort here spar, I don't care what world champions that he has, man. And it's not good. Look at that, man.
I want somebody to fall out of the cage.
I'm a little bit interested. Like, I didn't know Paul Felder did any, like, sort of MMA commentary. No, I obviously does commentary. I mean, like, YouTube commentary.
Andrew, I got 3 names that you should bring in the next time you want to spar some days. You don't need 60. Why don't you bring in Yuri Prohashka, Jamal Hill, and Khalil Roundtree?
All 3 of those guys would absolutely floor him with the way that he's fighting. And it's not just that. Like, you've seen him fight in a lot of clips before, and it's never good,
Junior,
dude.
And see how this style works out for you.
There we go.
This dude's punching anything, baby.
And it's just the weird thing is he talks to them like obviously he's a better fighter than this guy probably, right? But it's like he puts on it kind of gives me the Kevin Holland effect. You know, when Kevin Holland just like starts yapping like he's not even trying, but he's secretly hiding his lack of technique. I feel like that's like what's kind of going on over here.
Come on. Good, almost.
Like, he has power, obviously, right?
He's got a good liver shot. He's taking guys down. Okay.
But even then, like, he was open with that, you know?
That was nice. Now, again, how much experience does this guy have? Where are these guys from? This is one benefit of your hands down low, is that right there. You don't see that hook coming up.
His arms were still out to the side.
Time. And here I was, thinking that this is just going to be body work sparring, and it's not. All right.
Yeah, I don't know what Paul Felder was doing reacting to all that, but, like, dude, Jamal Hill would cream him. And my inner child just came out there because we used to say it all the time. We used to say that all of the time growing up. I'm 27 years old. Oh, my God, you just creamed that guy. Now it's like a horrible thing to say. I can't believe that just came out of my mouth. But Jamal Hill would destroy him. Yuri Prohashka would ruin him, and Khalil Roundtree Jr. would mess him up. Absolutely. Khalil would just ignore his output like he's not even there. Yuri, I think, would TKO him in round 1, but Hill would KO him in the nastiest way possible to get a highlight win for the change. You know what? I could actually see that, especially with Jamal Hill. Blake had this to say about it. Those 3 would destroy him. That being said, sparring a wet noodle 60 times would be tiring and not possible for most people at the very least. He's in great shape. Yes, and he probably is on roids, but the roids doesn't always, you know, it's not the best cardio, you know what I mean? Tate ain't ready for that Jamal Hill footwork. Yes, sir. When you could argue, oh, yeah, I don't know. I was about to say he has better footwork than Voldemort, but Jamal Hill has some pretty nasty footwork, you know? Let's continue on. That's cold. Something from the weigh-in show. I've watched the recent weigh-in shows, but I'm not familiar with what we're about to see.
Cormier, oh my God, he has showed us that being a good man and living a clean life can make you a champion, but it does not beat cocaine and jail time.
Oh.
That's Jon Jones, isn't it?
Like that's Jon Jones, isn't it?
Yeah, he's hurting him.
Oh, Daniel Cormier. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's it's funny, man. I love the Wayne show. It's such an underrated piece of UFC media, man. The Combat Sports guy said this to say, they asked if he could fight anyone and who would be and where, and DC said he won't say the name, but it would be at his house so he can kill them. Then they asked him if the name rhymed with Mon Moans. I saw that clip and Cormier just laughed about it. It's funny how it's like, it's coming out a little bit more and more, you know what I mean? Their hatred for each other. Wayne show not the same without Sanko. Dude, what is this picture? What the hell, man? Why wasn't this going around all the time, dude? Oh my God, that's a funny picture. Wow. And then, of course, just Laura Sanko. But yeah, actually, I don't loves Laura Sanko like everybody else does, man, but I think that she adds incredible value to the weigh-in show, man. She's really good on there. Jon Jones responds to DC on his Instagram story. Could you imagine getting your ass kicked for the third time in front of your wife and kids? Dude, Jones would ignore him and just beat the wife. Jones still being insecure at 38 years old will never not be funny. Dude, I've said it a million times on the channel. I don't understand how you have a guy who can walk through life beating absolutely everybody on this planet. You're the toughest guy in the world. You can beat anybody in a fight, yet you're so insecure. And I hate using that buzzword, man, but it's accurate for Jon Jones. Let's continue on over to championship rounds. Max Holloway says the UFC should have created a BMF ranking. I saw this, man. I hate it. I'm not a fan of the BMF at all.
We need a BMF ranking. UFC, please have a BMF ranking.
Yeah, you're right.
I love that.
You got to work your way up.
Yeah,
I love how they're all like, yeah, Max, I love that. Awesome.
Yeah, so we can let them know. I mean, I'm not saying no to Dan Hooker, but I'm just saying, can we please have a BMF ranking so we can see it? Actually, I don't even know if it's UFC. Can we get the fans to do it? Because UFC's rankings is fucking all over the place. We need a...
Yeah, dude, the fans would just rank who they like, to be honest with you. But then again, that's kind of like the gimmick of the BMF, I guess. But man, no, I am not for that. I don't like the BMF. I think it's a disgrace to actual titles. And the last thing we need is BMF rankings, okay? George Costanza had this to say. Hopefully, no. It's a shame it exists. I agree with that. I still can't believe that it exists. BMF should be open weight division champ. Otherwise, it is meaningless. I actually agree with that. Yeah, if you want to talk about the baddest MFer, man, yeah, it kind of should be open weight, eh? Let's continue on to the MMA Guru. Oh, I saw this too. I watched the Mighty Guru podcast. A bar on Bourbon Street on New Orleans, Louisiana was playing my fight companion stream along with the fights at UFC 318. Feels pretty weird. I see the crazy view numbers in the stream, but to see me being played for a whole bar is crazy. Chat, am I a big deal? And this is the MMA Guru being played at a bar. That's actually insane. Like, I'm happy for him, man. He grinded content so hard, and now he's here. Now he's making it big time, even being played at bars. Apparently, DC doesn't know you. Dude, it's crazy. I will never understand why people are like that. Like, Daniel. Like, I love DC, man, but he just refuses to admit it. Is it because he calls him fat? Like, everybody makes fun of DC, you know? It's a little bit weird. In our little ecosystem, you are certainly a big deal, which is why it's your responsibility to destroy Jama and her gang of simps. Yeah, you know what? The beef that they had was something funny to watch. One of the biggest deals. By the way, the Connor and D bits you did on that video the other day had me dying. Dude, I watched a compilation that was like 25 minutes long of... Or no, not that one. That one was like an hour long. I watch a lot of impression compilations from him. They're funny. But dude, there was like an hour-long one where he just constantly got overloaded with Conor McGregor picture and D impressions. It was so good. You guys got to go check that out, man. Let's continue on to Jon Jones, another thing that I've seen, guys. It was Jon Jones' birthday. Spending part of my birthday cleaning out the closet, donating some of my favorite clothes and shoes to the local Salvation Army and Goodwill. Some really great pieces that deserve a second life. Giving back genuinely makes me happy, and whoever ends up with these is going to be blessed, no doubt. After that, I might just hit the mall and pick up a few replacements. Simple day, just how I like it. This guy's gone off the deep end. He's gone off the deep end completely. I do not understand, like... And you know what? He posts this, and there's still people out there that are going to be like, dude, Jon, you're such a great guy. You're such an awesome guy. Let's go, champ. Praise Jesus. Yeah, you're a religious man just like me. Like, as if, you know? People forget, man, had this to say. That's what that makes up for beating your wife in front of your children. Such a wholesome guy. Cheat criminal. Dude, I know. Jon Jones is awesome. Let's keep going. MMA Orbit posted this. Dustin Poirier's daughter gave him a BDE Best Dad Ever belt when he returned home from UFC 318. I don't have the BMF belt, but I got the BDE belt, and this is insanely wholesome. I saw this on Ariel Helwani's show. It was really cool, dude. I don't know if we're gonna end up taking a look at some of these in the replies, but it's been so funny the people just making Ilia to Poirier posting with the BDE belt. It's really good. But honestly, that's really wholesome. I love that for him and his daughter, and he seemed genuinely happy about that. Should have had Strickland's dad presented to him. All right. Fake championship. Come on. Oh my god, dude, it's so funny. But if you want to keep taking a look at some funny MMA posts from the community, why don't you check this out right here? Same vibe, they're timeless. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. Take care, guys.